do you do for a living?
I shop, drink matcha, go to Pilates, and stay beautiful. That's what I do.
I'm going home with him. I'm going home with him. I'm going home with him.
All right, so this will probably be my last video for a couple of days. And I want to cover this story that just popped up yesterday, Saturday 25th, or actually I should say Saturday 27th, 2025. So naturally, women are trying to blame men now for all of their problems. Keep in mind that the men, in most cases, have basically walked away, have given up on dating, are not approaching the women. So now the women are blaming the men for it. So they're saying, men seem to make life for women worse. Single U.S. women share the woes of dating in 2025. So basically, it comes really down to this. So basically, the women only want certain types of men approaching them. But that's not how life works. All men are going to approach, given equal opportunity to approach. But the women, at this point, they're determined to only hold out for the number one guy or the best possible pick that they can get. So here you have, in some cultures, you have most of the women, they will pretty much date men who are on their level or slightly above it. But in this culture, because of hypergamy and because of social media and whatnot, these women are determined to get Chad or Brad, like the best possible option that they can get. And they're trying to hold out for that best possible option. Here's the problem. The best possible option isn't interested in them. The best possible option is interested in something better than them, which means that he's going even lower down the totem pole than they are. And they don't understand why. They don't understand why they're highly educated and they're more mature and they're closer to 40. They don't understand why he's going after that young thing that's somewhere around 20 to 25. And she has no education. And she has like, a regular job working at like freaking Starbucks or something like that. They can't understand why is it that the winner at the finish line, why is it that he doesn't choose them? Why is it he's going after that what did Michael Jackson call it, a pretty young thing? Yeah, well, unfortunately for you, men are hardwired for age. And if you're going to waste your time getting these worthless liberal arts degrees just so you can try to convince people to have to call you doctor, or so that you can convince people to have to call you by some kind of professional title, well, the time that you wasted in school, you're going to find out that's going to basically turn on you and you're going to end up single, childless, and unmarried. And according to the statistics, yeah, it's going to happen. I can't make this shit up. The statistics are literally telling you that. And not only that, your own findings are telling you that. When you're here we think, well, what is this? We're basically about to go into October. It won't be very long, but we're going up to Valentine's Day again. Valentine's Day serves as a constant reminder that you're single, childless, and unmarried. When you go out to the restaurants and you see these other guys with their young girlfriends or young wives, and you're out there celebrating with other women, and there's a table of y'all, and y'all are, what do they call it? Galentine's Day? Yeah, well, basically, when you go home and cry yourself to sleep after you wear the batteries out of your vibrator, that's when you'll figure it out. It's like nobody's playing with you. So anyway, here's the story so I don't get lost here. It says by 2030, 45% of prime working age women in the U.S., defined as women aged between 25 and 44, or else as the Japanese men call them, Christmas cake. You see, the Japanese, these guys are brutal. These guys, what they've basically said is, listen, if you're older than 25, I ain't marrying you at all. Like, they basically said during Christmas, they get lots of gifts of cake. And they call you Christmas cake because what they're saying is that after December 25th, you're no good because it's no longer Christmas. So what you have is you have all these Christmas cakes sitting around the house and they're just aging and nobody wants to eat them. It's kind of like here in America, we used to give gifts of rum cake. Like people would make a cake out of rum and they would give that to you and you'd get a couple of them. The first couple would probably taste good, but after that, you're like, wait a minute, I can't eat this shit. This is too much sugar. It's too much alcohol. You know, these rum cakes are soaked in alcohol. I can't eat this stuff no more. So it just sits around and it goes to waste. Now, if you were to ask a Japanese man, you say, listen, you got all these older than 25-year-old women, these Christmas cakes at home. But meanwhile, you're going down to Myanmar, you're going down to the Philippines, Thailand, you're looking for wives down there, young wives. It's like, why don't you just stay home and wife up one of those Christmas cakes in your country? Like, why don't you just do that? Well, the Japanese man, if you ask him that, he's going to get quite angry with you. He's going to get disgusted. He's going to get immediately angry. And he's going to basically look you in the eyes. He's going to say, no! 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 Want the Christmas cake? No! So do yourself a favor. Don't ask a Japanese man if he wants Christmas cake, because chances are he's not gonna respond well. Let's just say that he's not gonna respond well. So anyway, it says hundreds of those women from across the U.S. shared with The Guardian why they are single, how they felt about it, and what they would be looking for in a future partner if they were still in the market for one. Because eventually they give up. You might as well give up because it's not going to happen. So it says, I hated being single after my last relationship broke down, said Sarah, who's 43, a sales representative from California. I miss having someone to cook for, to share things with. But now my motto is, my alone feels so good, I'll only have you if your presence is sweeter than my solitude. Huh? What? Anyway, many of the responses were surprisingly similar. The most frequently listed qualities women said they were looking for in a partner were kindness and emotional intelligence, mental and physical health, shared values, ambition and being hardworking, financial stability, masculinity and maturity, and a willingness to... That's a whole goddamn long list, man. That's a whole long list. I would hate to share with you what men would list, because it would really pretty much only come down to like probably 3 things. Here, you got this long-ass list that it sounds like something that a psychiatrist wrote. Like, this doesn't even make sense. Financial stability, masculinity, and they're still going, and maturity, and a willingness to commit to an equal monogamous relationship, as well as, in many cases, having a family. Jesus Christ. That's all. You could have written a whole goddamn page of fucking expectations. This is ridiculous. So anyway, one of the phrases respondents used the most was that they were looking for a partner capable of, and there's more of adding to or enhancing their, oh my God, enhancing their life, as in someone who was entirely self-sufficient and capable of adding romance, children, or a unique intellectual collection to their lives. A large number of women complained about past suitors who had been lacking effort or unable to keep up. Okay, so first of all, before I go on, let's just analyze this bullshit. Let's analyze this. So, you only really have 2 choices. Either it's a guy your age or it's an older man. So there's only really 2 choices here. Now, keep in mind, in the past, typically marriage was an older man and a younger woman. We can pretty much understand why. It's because the older man has settled into his career and he's got money, he's got income, he's got wealth, and now he's only getting a wife because he's about to start a family and they're about to eat up his wealth and all the shit that he worked for. You know, and you as a man, before I even go on, as a man, let me think about this. As a man, I've got savings accounts. I've got my own savings accounts. I've got checking accounts. I've got houses. I've got property. I own land at this point in my life, right? So you have to wonder, what's a man thinking when he's like, yeah, I'm going to have some children so they can literally eat me alive. they can eat up my bank account. Because, of course, if I have children, I'm going to have to spend all my money on them. Because I was listening to the news. They were saying that it costs somewhere around $500,000 to raise a child because of cost of living. Now, I'm assuming that they're saying it costs about $500,000 to raise a child from 0 years of age to 18 years of age. Now, I would assume that that cutoff is really 21 because they're assuming that you're going to go to college and graduate. So you have to think about it. So here you are, a man. You've got your career going. You're going to hook up with some woman who's going to eat up your money. And then you're going to have children with her, and they're going to eat up your money. Like, you probably heard me talking. Like, I went to a birthday party yesterday for one of my cousins, right? So here they got their father, who's my uncle. And they've got a huge, like, if you saw the way they were living, if Charlie Kirk were here to see the way they were living, he would probably start complaining that this uncle of mine took the job from some more deserving white man because he'd be jealous. He'd be like looking at his house. He'd be looking at his property. He'd be looking at all the fucking cars that he has because I swear to God, he got like 6 cars. And he'd be looking at all that, and he'd be like, oh, well, you should have, well, that a white man lost his job to DEI or some bullshit, right? Because you'd be jealous. And the funny thing to me is I got my uncle running back and forth for this birthday party, and my uncle's looking exhausted and shit, and he's running back and forth, and I'm seeing all of this stuff that he bought, all of this preparations he made, and he's spending all this money to give a kid a birthday party. Now, if you give one of your kids a birthday party, you got to give the other kids a birthday party. He's got 2 other kids. He got 3 kids. So I'm thinking about it. Like, here you are, a man, and now you got these kids, and you got this wife, and you got to spend all of your effort and all of your money on them. And yet you'd have some feminist bitch out there that would call you a male chauvinist or a patriarchal chauvinist because you put all this together and you're spending your money and your energy and your time on this shit. But you've got some bitch feminist out there who would say some stupid shit like that. You see, that's why I appreciate shows like Game of Thrones, even though it's not historically accurate because it's fictional. But here you got these men who are getting these younger wives, and they're raising up kingdoms and shit. And they got to fight for them. They got to spend all their time, energy, money, and this, that, and other. And you can't even argue with it because you're taking it at face value. You can't even argue with it. But here in this society, or at least I should say America, because they don't tolerate this shit in those Muslim countries, those Islamic states. They don't tolerate any of this fucking feminist bullshit over there. They don't tolerate it at all. And you know what I'm talking about. You can end up in the ground with bricks being thrown at you. They don't tolerate this shit. But who's really getting the worst part of the deal? Is it the man or the woman? The man is literally being eaten alive financially just to have a family, just to raise kids. So you only really have 2 choices as a woman. Either you're getting a man your age or you're getting an older man. And the older man is the better choice, obviously. So let's just understand this. It says they were looking for in a partner were kindness and emotional intelligence. You ain't going to have emotional intelligence if you're a young man her age because you're not old enough. You don't have emotional intelligence. You're a fucking kid. Mental and physical health. Well, here's the problem. If you're a young man, you're not going to have mental health because you're still developing. You will have physical health because you're a young man. But here in America, because they're literally poisoning us with the food that they're feeding us. So you're not going to probably have physical health. I've seen a lot of young kids, and they're in bad shape. I mean, you got young boys with asthma. You got young girls with asthma, overweight. I've seen young girls who look like they in their 30s, and they're only like 13, 14, 15. You've seen them. The Preciouses, we call them Precious because of Gabrielle Sidibe or Gabby Sidibe. You know, you've seen this. You've seen 15-year-old girls who got like 300 pounds of weight on them. You see boys, all these just like that, the ice shooter, fat-faced, and they, these are young white males who got fat faces. They look like their name is Rosie O'Donnell. And the thing about it is you're not going to be able to get both because you have a society that's poisoning them. And as far as mental health, these kids are sitting at home playing violent video games. They're sitting at home playing murder simulators. So even if the dude was your age, he's not going to have both mental and physical health. It's going to be one or the other. Either he's out there playing sports, getting his physical health, or he's sitting at home playing fucking video games and he's getting overweight. You can't have both. Now, shared values. Well, the question is, what are your values? Are you trying to have a family with a man, and are you trying to take care of the man as much as you can while he's making the money? I'm pretty sure that's what he thinks he wants, but is that what you're going to give him? So when they say, what do you bring to the table? Well, you gotta answer that question. You have to. Then there's, what is this? Ambition. I would say the younger man might be ambitious more so than the older man because the older man has already achieved what he's going to achieve. And he probably knows that he's probably not going to achieve much more than he gets to that point. So ambition may go away after a while. Then it says being hardworking. Well, younger men have the youth on their side and they have the physical strength. Older men have the ambition, but they don't have the physical strength. Like, I got a bunch of uncles, and they all complaining. Their knees are fucked up. Their feet hurt. Like, you hear this all the time. If you think about your older male relatives, they always complaining. Oh, my hands hurt. Why do your hands hurt? Well, because you're out there gardening and shit, and you're pushing lawnmowers, and you got pickaxes, and you're gardening and everything. Yeah, your hands are gonna hurt because you're killing yourself. You're literally wearing your body to the bone. What else? Your feet hurt. Your back hurts. That's the other one. Every time I see one of my other uncles, oh, my back hurts. Well, maybe it's because you're laying in your bed watching Star Trek. That could be it. That might be it. I don't know. Then you got the other one. Oh, man, my shoulder hurts. Oh, well, maybe that's because you had a rotator cuff surgery. That could be it. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. You had a rotator cuff surgery because of all those injuries that you've accumulated over your life. That might have something to do with it. So what I'm saying is you're not going to get physical and mental health out of the young man or the old man. You're just not going to do it. What else? What's this next one? Financial stability. Young men do not have financial stability. They don't. They haven't achieved a career yet. Most young men do not settle into a career until they're at least 30 to 35. And that's like a statistical fact. Young men 20 to 25, they just got out of school probably, or they're in a vocation or something. They haven't achieved a career yet. You're not considered a professional male worker until you're at least between 30 and 40. So when I say that, what I'm saying is if you're a 18, 20-year-old woman or girl or woman, because, once they turn 18, you're supposed to call them women. But if you're 18 to 20 and you're looking for financial stability, you're not getting that out of a 20-year-old guy. You're not getting that out of an 18-year-old guy. Of course not. You're only getting that out of a 30 to 35-year-old. So what a lot of these females are doing, because there's no chastity anymore, they're screwing and having kids with the guys their age and expecting somehow that they're going to marry a guy 30 or 35 who's going to take care of them and their kid. But they're leaving the dude who was their age. It's like, that's not how this works. It's not. So those guys. So when you end up a single mama and nobody's talking to you, or the only guys you get to talk to you are slightly older men who screwed up their life when they were younger men, well, then that's on you. I don't know what to say. But anyway, financial stability. Then there's masculinity and maturity. Yeah, the younger men are more masculine, but they're not more mature. So you're not getting both from the same guy. You can't. How can they be mature if they're youthful and masculine? The older men who are masculine will be more mature, definitely, but they're also not as physically fit. Do you understand where I'm going with this? You don't have to be a fucking genius to figure this shit out. You don't have to have a PhD in anything to figure this out. This is just basic observation. Basic. So anyway, a willingness to commit to an equal monogamous relationship. I would say that the older men are probably more likely to commit to the monogamous relationship. The younger men have so much more physically and sexually to offer that the younger men will be chased by lots of women. Not only will they be chased by women their age, but now you've got all these older single women who are chasing these younger men. I need not remind you that every time you turn on the news, that you're hearing of these disgraced women in various professions who are cheating or having sexual relationships with younger men. I needn't remind you of that. So, if, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I don't see anything, how should I say, I don't see anything wrong with that by the laws of nature. Because obviously what's happening is, and you'll never hear them say this on the news because I'm a special person. And I'm a chess player, so I know a lot of shit. But anyway, these older women are getting older. Them eggs in their body are starting to rot. So what are these older women doing? They're like, yeah, I've only got like 3 or 4 eggs left, and they're about to fall down these fallopian tubes. Let me find a younger man so that I can get some fresh DNA from him. They are literally, these women, these older cougars, these women, they are running around like vampires searching for fresh DNA. And they're going after these younger men. And you scratch your head like, what would an older woman be cheating with a 13, 15, or 18-year-old boy for? It's because they're younger men. They have fresh DNA that hasn't been ruined yet by age. And they're trying to fertilize the last of them eggs. Now, I believe Charles Darwin, if he was here, I believe he'd agree with me. Now, you may have some other belief and opinion, but, that's on you. I really don't care. But I believe if Charles Darwin was here, I believe if Freud was here, I believe they would agree with me. They'd be like, you know what, these younger women, they don't see the value in themselves because they don't understand that those eggs are eventually going to run out. They don't understand that those eggs are eventually going to get old. They don't understand that milk is eventually going to turn to buttermilk, if you get my drift. I think Charles Darwin and Freud would both agree with me. I think that Freud, Darwin, and me, we could write a book, and they would agree with me. That's what I think. I think these older women are chasing these younger men because they try to fertilize the last of them eggs. That's what I believe. That's what I believe is the underlying subconscious driving force. That's what I believe. Now, you can say what you want. I don't care. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going. Now, you get to this next thing. In many cases, having a family. Well, that's obvious. An older man wants to have a family. Why does an older man want to have a family? Why does an older man, like, say my uncle, want to run around? He's got these dark circles around his eyes like he's a fucking raccoon from hypertension. You got to run around dealing with these kids. You got to take them to baseball practice. You got to take them to football practice. You got to take them to soccer practice. You got to take them to ballet practice. You got to take them to piano practice. Got to take them to this. Got to take them to that. Why would an older man want to have to deal with that? Well, because he's accumulated so much stuff. Like, even I'm looking around. It's like, yeah, I got these houses. I got 2 cars sitting right outside. If you were to look outside my house right now, I got my Jeep SRT paid off, sitting there, waiting for me to drive it. I don't even feel like driving it. I got my electric Cadillac sitting out there. I'm probably going to take that electric Cadillac right now. We're going to go to the car show in a little while. It's 8:52. We're going to go to the car show, and we're just going to see what's out there. We're probably going to get some Starbucks, me and my electric Cadillac. And it's funny because when I go to the car show, they would probably rather see my Jeep SRT than my electric Cadillac. I don't even give a shit what they want to see. I'm not letting them see anything. I'm just driving there, quietly, silently, taking my videos, and then leaving. And that's how I do it. That's how I roll. Now, right there, what I'm basically saying right now is exactly the difference between a young man and an old man. Now, a young man would have bought a flashy car that all the young guys want, and they'd be out there showing off to the young guys. I don't care about the young guys anymore. I've had the Hellcats. I've had the cool cars. I don't give a shit what they want anymore. The mature man shows up, takes his video, gets his YouTube money, and leaves quietly. You don't even know I'm there. You don't even notice the older man. The older man, he just shows up quietly, talks to a couple people, gets his Starbucks, and just leaves. The young men are out there standing around. Oh yeah, let's race and all that shit. Then they get in trouble with the cops. The older man, he's like, wait a minute, if this fucking cop's here, I ain't doing nothing. I'm just going to sit over here nice and quiet. That's the difference right there. Now, as far as with the family, well, the older man, he's like, yeah, I've got all this accumulated wealth. Who am I going to roll this off to? Who am I going to leave this to? I ain't trying to leave it to some woman. Well, I'm trying to leave it to my kids. So that's what it is. So with my houses are going to my children. And all they have to do is pay, taxes, and they got to pay for maintenance, and that's it. My children would benefit from me living rent-free. Of course, I'm going to force those fuckers to get jobs. There's no way I'm going to let my kids be like some of my friends, and they're 30 and 40 and living with their parents and shit, and barely working, and they living up in their parents' house at 40 years old. No way. Because the Eagles, the bald eagle, the national symbol, the Eagles, they have to train the young eaglets to be bald eagles. They can't let them stay in that nest forever, because these bastards got to grow up, and they got to go out there and start hunting mice and deer and animals. So what do? When they have those young eaglets, they have a nice soft nest and everything, a very soft nest, and they take fur from the animals they kill, and they put that in the nest. They pad the nest. They got all the soft straw and all that in the nest. It's all soft and everything. But eventually those eagle parents, they look at each other, they're like, wait a minute, we got to get this motherfucker out of here because he's got to go be an eagle. So what do? They stop feeding them. They stop going hunting. They stop going out. They take away the soft fur and all that soft stuff, and then they let the sharp stuff stick them in the ass. It's like, yeah, we're making this very uncomfortable for you. And now the eagle, that little baby eagle, he grows up. He's like, you know what? My mom and dad, they're not getting me food no more like they used to. I got to go out and I got to hunt myself. Push that motherfucker right out the nest, and now he has to go fly. If you can't allow these kids to be spoiled. You can't do it. You can't. I see so many parents letting their kids be spoiled, not making their kids work. And it's to their detriment, because these kids are going to grow up spoiled brats. They're going to grow up entitled. They're going to grow up to expect like the world owes them something. The world don't owe you a goddamn thing. So all these entitled, spoiled brats that you see grabbing a gun and either taking themselves out or shooting at everybody else because they upset. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have stupid parents. I'll just say it just like that. The word stupid covers a wide variety of behaviors. I like that word. All right, so let's keep going. It says a lot of men seem to actively make life for women worse instead of better. Let me tell you something. Without these men, you'd be living foot to mouth. You'd have nothing. Women don't build anything. All these skyscrapers that actually can stand up under their own weight, that was built by a man. All of these weapons that we have that keep your ass safe from North Korea. Let me tell you something. Kim Jong is over there. Kim Jong got them people running in circles, and the first one who stops gets a bullet. If it wasn't for all of this trillion-dollar military industrial complex and stuff that you didn't build, that men built them missiles, men built those subs, men built those nuclear weapons, men built those spy satellites, men built all of that. You did not. You were at home. And even now that you're entering society, now all the stuff that we build, everything's fucked up. The women tried to build a bridge and shit collapsed. No, without the men, you'd have nothing. In fact, you say, oh yeah, we choose the bear. The bear would eat your ass if it was the bear. Right here. I got a Desert Eagle 50 caliber just in case a bear somehow shows up. Like if I go out into the woods, I go camping or something, I got a 50 caliber handgun waiting for the bear. Oh yeah, I choose the bear. Yeah, well, the bear's gonna eat your ass. But when he tries to eat me, he's gonna eat a 50 caliber slug moving at 2,000 feet per second. That's the difference right there between men and women. So anyway, it says, Babbitt. Oh, that sounds like Ashley Babbitt. You remember that white woman that took a bullet when she was trying to attack the Congress? You remember her, Babbitt? So anyway, Babbitt, 32, a beautician from New York City, echoed hundreds of other respondents across ages and socioeconomic backgrounds. I would love to have a partner, but it seems like the men are super low effort. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. She said, not responding on dating apps, not effectively communicating. First of all, if you're a man, I ask you to listen to me right now. Get off those goddamn dating apps. Cancel your account. Delete your account. Get off of those dating apps. All men, get off those dating apps. Get off them now. A dating app is nothing more than a woman practicing hypergamy. She's got your pictures there, and she's swiping right on your ass or swiping left on your ass. Oh, he's not 6 feet tall? Swipe. Oh, he doesn't have a 6-inch pecker or better? Swipe. Get off those dating apps. What did King Leonidas say in the movie 300? Give them nothing, but take from them everything. Get off those goddamn dating apps, please. A woman is practicing hypergamy by swiping on your ass. Oh, he doesn't make $100,000? Swipe. Oh, he doesn't have a house yet? Swipe. Oh, he doesn't drive a $100,000 car? Swipe. I think you get my drift. I believe that the height of a woman's hypergamy is actually going to a sperm clinic in order to get what she believes is the sperm from a high-value man. These women act, oh yeah, well, I want the sperm cells from a 6-foot-tall doctor because she assumes that he has to be smarter than everybody else and that he's already 6 feet tall, so he has to be genetically dominating everybody else. See, you men, y'all was so worried about white supremacy, but you forgot about height supremacy. Height supremacy. These women are literally saying, if you're not 6 feet tall, swipe. Now, I am 6'6" because my mom was like 5'9" and my dad was like 6'1" or some shit. I'm 6'6". So y'all was so worried about the white supremacy, you forgot about the height supremacy. You know, it's funny to me, real quick story. I go to the gym sometimes and I see these dudes who are like 5 foot nothing. And they got big, bulky muscles at 5 foot nothing. They walking around looking like they just took creatine and they just took all these muscle enhancement things. These guys are walking around looking like little action movie stars. But I'm 6'6" and they're 5 foot nothing. So, you know, I don't really feel I have to work out that hard because they're short and I'm not. I'm sorry. That's what it is. Y'all was so worried about white supremacy, but y'all forgot about height supremacy. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. So anyway, Kelly, 43 from Georgia, joined the substantial number of respondents who felt that social media narratives had made dating toxic and pitted men against women. I'm pretty sure she's talking about Kevin Samuels. And you're 43, dear. The dating apps did not make dating toxic and did not make it hard for you. Being 43 made dating toxic and made things hard for you. The moment that you crossed over like 25, you were done. I'm sorry, because the Japanese man said, no, want a Christmas carol. Okay, it says, I wish I could have met my person before the stupid gender war. No, the gender war always existed, dear. It was always men versus women. The men made the mistake of allowing your voices to get too loud. That's what really happened, because the men are destined to eternally win. You don't build anything. Women do not build anything. All they do is subsist on what the man's work is. That's it. So, and red pill rhetoric. No, it's not rhetoric. It's facts. It's facts. I'm sorry. It's facts. It's not rhetoric. That has ruined people's view of dating and marriage. The men still want to date. It's just that they don't want to date you. They want to get their passport. They want to get a woman who hasn't been ruined by feminism. That's what it comes down to. It says scores of women said that nobody available they had encountered met what they considered basic requirements. Oh, so what did the women say their basic requirements were? Now, I think God would be kind of upset because their basic requirements are the number of the beast. They said that the men have to be at least 6 feet tall. They said the men have to have a 6-inch pecker or better, and that the men have to have a 6-pack of abs. And that's 666. That's the number of the beast right there. But then it goes even further. They say, yeah, they have to have a 6-figure salary. I mean, that's 6666. I mean, what the hell's going? What is this satanic shit that y'all got going on over there? 6666. Huh? I don't think Jesus and God would be very happy with that. It says scores of women said that nobody available they had encountered met what they considered the basic satanic requirements. Then it says, I'm looking for a man who has goals and ambition, is intelligent, trustworthy, a provider. So look at all this bullshit. Look at it. The list keeps going. Keeps going. You're not getting all that out of a dude your age. And you're not getting all of that out of a dude who's older either. So you've created completely unrealistic circumstances. These are completely unrealistic. But you think they're realistic, and that's where you fail. So anyway, it says, is intelligent, trustworthy, a provider, supportive, considerate, kind, assertive, masculine, honest, faithful, intentional, has a healthy self-esteem and a sense of humor, loves to go out and likes fitness. These are basic qualities, are hard to find these days, she said. Let me tell you something. You know what men look for? Men look for basically 3 things. They're looking for food, sex, and silence. And by silence, they mean peace. They're looking for food, sex, silence. I have seen men with some ugly-ass girlfriends and ugly-ass wives. I've seen men with ugly-ass wives. But if she cooks, if she puts out, and if she is peaceful, like if he doesn't have to fight with her and argue with her, let me tell you something. That man will gladly put a ring on an ugly-ass woman and will gladly be loyal to her for the rest of his days. You know, one of these things I've noticed about these Southeast Asian women, you know what they use? They use sex to wear a man out. So, because women know that after a dude busts, he goes right to sleep. They know it. So, what these women, like these females, what they'll do is they'll make sure they putting out like 2 or 3 times a day. And they make sure that they keep that dude drained. He's fucking like this dude is laying in the bed, just been drained, and he's got like a cover on him, and he's just dead tired, and he's asleep. And he's in a coma. He's in a dreamless coma. And he doesn't even know where he is because he's been drained. These older women, they said the secret to a happy marriage is you keep his balls empty and you keep his stomach full. You keep his stomach full, keep his balls empty. And they only had 2. That was it, just 2 guidelines. You keep his stomach full and his balls empty. These older women knew it was just 3 things: food, sex, silence. I've seen some dudes with huge, fat wives, huge, bigger, taller, huge, big foot, big backs. I've seen some men with some big backs. These men are, a lot of them, I seen dudes, I'm not going to lie, but I wish I had a picture of it. I should have taken a photo, but back then we didn't have camera phones. I had a biology teacher. This dude was a skinny white man. A skinny white man this guy was about 5'8", 5'9", biology teacher. This was back in 1999. Skinny white man. I'm trying to think of who. Let me think of who I could compare him to. You know Mark Zuckerberg? Yes, that's exactly who. I want you to think of Mark Zuckerberg with glasses on. Skinny white man. Now, who was he married to? Who did he have a kid with? One day he invited us, when we were in class, he invited his wife to class. This was back in 1999, so obviously there was no iPhone back then. 1999, I had a biology teacher. I can't even remember his name. This dude, skinny white man, Mark Zuckerberg looking, glasses, right? He got his wife come in. His wife was this big, fat black woman. And she came in pushing the stroller. And she had one baby. It was a daughter. And this daughter was the same color as this dude. So his daughter looked like the whitest white baby that you ever seen. And he had this fat black woman. It was a skinny white dude with a fat black woman. And the thing about it, I'll never forget that. So, bottom line is, if you were to look, I don't even know, maybe you can figure it out. Maybe you can find the guy. York College, CUNY York College, 1999, and this guy's a biology teacher. A biology professor, I should say. But this dude, I can't remember this dude's name. But I'm like, wait a minute. You're a skinny white dude. What are you doing with this huge woman? This huge black woman, mind you. But the bottom line is, obviously she's cooking. Obviously she's cooking for him because she is huge. And obviously she must be emptying them balls out because they got the kid right there to prove it. All the man is looking like these women got these huge lists of bullshit. I can't even remember the stuff on that list. What are the men looking for? Food, sex, silence. Just 3 things. I don't even consider that a problem. I really don't. They looking for 3 things. Just 3. I see dudes with ugly women. I see dudes with fat women. I see dudes with women who I would consider are genetically questionable. I'll get to that in a second. I see men with these women that you're like, wait a minute, dude, you could do so much better than that. But what are these guys after? They after those 3 things. They after food, sex, and silence. And that's it. It's crazy when you think about it. Just 3 things. Just 3. So, although many women said that they found being single lonely, they also typically said that they would not consider anyone who did not tick these or similar boxes. So basically, you've resigned yourself to being single, single, childless, and unmarried. You've basically resigned yourself to that. Now, I always love to see who's writing this shit, because this is bad journalism as far as I'm concerned. But as you can see, Katie is the person, 37, a biotechnology product manager from Wisconsin. You know what that means? Biotechnology product manager. You know what that means? That means that she sells medical supplies. Because, see, we like to use really big words to try to confuse people. She sells medical supplies. Said she had felt unable to look for a new partner since her last breakup in 2021. So here's the problem with Katie. First of all, you're in Wisconsin. That's number 1. You need to get out of Wisconsin. That's number 1. Number 2, you're 37, Katie. You're 37. If it was a Japanese man, he would say, "No want Christmas kicker." Okay, a partner should ideally have a robust social life. Oh my God, so now you're asking for more. So not only does he have to be all of that shit, but now you have to have a robust social life? What? a focus on holistic health. So now you got to be one of these yoga fucking naturalists. What? What? Compassionate and forthright communication skills and functional independence. What? How long is this list gonna get? The men have a list that has 3 things on it: food, sex, and silence. Your list has like 40 fucking things on it. This is ridiculous. I'm happy to compromise on things. The bar is extremely low, and yet it's rarely cleared. Hundreds reported struggling to find a partner with shared values. Political view. Oh my God. The list is getting longer. Political views and interests. And a similar education level. So if you're a biotechnology manager, he has to be basically B1 too. Either that or he has to be a doctor. What? Huh? How long does this list have to get? With many pointing to a deepening mismatch between men and women in these areas. Danielle, 29, a public relations professional. What? Public relational professional. You know what we used to call him? We used to call him the lady on the phone. That's who you are. You're using all these goddamn words, trying to make it sound like you're anything more than a receptionist. The lady on the phone. And let me also say something about the lady on the phone. I have a theory. When you go into a lot of these offices, you know, it's like a lot of these offices, they always tend to hire. Who do they hire to be the lady on the phone? They always tend to hire a black woman. Why? I think, this is my theory, I think it's because of Star Trek. I think it's because when they saw Uhura, Captain Kirk got Captain Spock next to him. Who does he have on the phone? He's got Uhura on the phone. Now, Uhura could have been anything else up in there. She could have been the engineer. She could have been the engineer instead of Mr. Scotty. She could have been the helmsman instead of Mr. Sulu, instead of Mr. Chekhov. Who did they put on the phone? They put Uhura on the phone. Just think about that for a second. So anyway, keep going. It says, I'm very disheartened by the shortage of quality men. Yeah, because unfortunately men don't check like 60 fucking boxes of shit that you've asked for. Yeah, the shortage of men. Men my age are less educated, their social skills are abysmal, and now they're running into the armpits of Trump and incel forums. Well, I'll tell you like this. If you were giving him just the 3 things that he was looking for, he wouldn't have time for Donald Trump. He wouldn't have time to be on the computer. But you're not. So that's what it is. Many men don't want to date someone who's more educated or makes more money. Well, first of all, a lot of women bring that up. And that's a bullshit argument because what they're not doing is they're not being honest about it. If a woman makes more money, chances are she's got to work longer hours. Chances are she's not home. If a woman makes more money than them, chances are she's working long hours and she's not home. Why would a man want to be with any woman who's working longer hours than he is and not home? Why? Why would any man want that? You remember that couple they caught at that Coldplay concert? Well, let's think about that for a second. This woman was working HR, and she's working with this other guy who's the CEO, and that's the work husband. Why would a man want to have to compete with a woman working long hours and staying late in the office with this other dude? Because just like that Coldplay concert, that scandal demonstrated, chances are she's cheating on you either emotionally or physically with a man at her job. I think more men would be willing to accept a woman working longer hours and not being home regularly if she was working a job where she dealt with nothing but women. I think some men might be more willing to be okay with that. But now you got your woman working at this job, and there's the other guy who she's working under. Most likely she's working under the CEO who's a man. And most likely they have some type of work relationship, and you're not okay with it. Chances are, the work husband, they call him. Now, I done warned you about the work husband. Because understand this, ladies, when these women get dressed in the morning and they get showered and they put their perfume on and all that stuff and they go out to work in the morning, they're taking the best of themselves to work to be with that other guy, that work husband. They're going to wear nice things to impress everybody at work, including the work husband. They're there all day. Let's say it's 9 to 5. Here's the problem, though. When she comes home, she's exhausted because she's been with her work husband all day. She's exhausted and brings home to you what's left of her. Whatever it is, what's left, the sloppy seconds we call them. Why would any man want to deal with that shit? I've seen the argument. The man comes home, he gets there earlier. Chances are he has to deal with the kids. Chances are his food isn't ready. There's no food for him because she's still at work with the work husband. Chances are the kids are a mess and not dressed. Chances are she might not get home till late and he has to cook and clean. Why would any man want to deal with that shit? Now, for these women who make a lot of money and don't work much or work at home, I think most men don't have a problem with that. I think men who have wives who work at home, I think if they're like, for instance, some wives, and I've seen this in real life, some wives have a computer and they're working at home. They're a telemarketer, receptionist, whatever the fuck it is. They make decent money and they're working at home on the computer. You know who else is like that? Oddly enough, these OnlyFans women are working at home. They're in front of a computer. They're in front of a camera, whatever it is, and they're working at home. I don't think the men have too much of a problem with that, except for the fact that she's showing her body off to these dudes on the internet. Now, if you have a dude who is okay with that, yeah, y'all can make a lot of money. I've seen it before. I've seen these women with these Instagrams, and they always do their best to make sure that you don't know who their boyfriend or husband is because they don't want to ruin their money, because the last thing they want is these simps getting upset. Oh, well, she's already got a boyfriend or husband, so I'm not going to send her any money. That's not what they want. They want to show them their ass off. They want to advertise. That's what I call it. I could advertise that ass, and they got a husband sitting right next to them. One thing I've noticed is with their channels, they start losing subscribers immediately. Because the problem is, as soon as that husband, as soon as these simps who want to send her money, as soon as they see that husband, there goes your subscriber count, gone. As soon as these simps see her husband and them children, they're like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to unsubscribe. I don't even want to deal with this. So these women online, they know, they advertise that butt, they advertise that cat, so they know, do not let that husband or that boyfriend, do not let this dude get on that camera, do not let this dude link your profile to his, because you know how on Facebook, how it says married, and then you click on the married button and you go see the husband's profile, or it's a man and he's married, you go click and you say, okay, let's see what this dude's wife looks like. And you click that shit, it goes to, they don't even want you linking them. They don't want you doing that because they already know the game. They know that they can't advertise beyond you if you're there. They know it. They know it. Oh my God, this shit keeps going. It says Lauren in her 40s from San Francisco said she had been single for the better part of a decade. Laura, let me help you out. You're single because you're 40. If you haven't achieved a man, and that's the proper term I'm going to use because I know the feminists hate that shit. If you haven't achieved a man by the time you're 30, well, Lauren, good luck, Laura. Good luck. So anyway, despite having used many dating apps and having attended dozens of single events, I think somebody screwed up there with the editing. There's an imbalance between education levels now in the U.S. Many men don't want to date someone who's more educated or makes more money than them. There's also the Peter Pan syndrome. A lot of men here don't seem to want to grow. Oh my God. Don't seem to want to grow up and take on responsibilities of adulthood or a committed partnership. Oh my God. I would argue that the young boys who don't want to grow up and take on responsibility, I would argue that their single mamas are raising them. See, if a young man has a father ain't going to let that dude just lay up in the house. Father's going to be like, hey, boy, get your ass up. You're coming outside. And, oh, but Dad, I want to sit here and play Roblox. Get your ass up now or I'm taking this belt off. Okay, Dad, I'm coming. Go outside, you're either working on a car or you're fixing a fence or some shit that's manual labor. You're doing something manual labor. Hey, yeah, I'm going to show you how to grow these crops. I'm going to show you how to fix this roof. I'm going to show you how to unplug this toilet. Whatever it is, if a man's in that house, hey, boy, get your ass up. Come on, we're going out. But Dad, I want to sit here and play Grand Theft Auto 6. Boy, if you don't get your ass up, I'm going to smash that PlayStation. Okay, Dad, okay, I'm getting up. But when it's mom, when it's a single mama, Terry, I need you to come help me with this. But man, I'm playing Roblox. Oh, okay, I'll call you in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, you got 5 minutes. Then she comes back 5 minutes. Terry! I need you to come do this. I need you to come do this now. But Mom, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay, I'll call you back in a minute. All right, how long is it going to take you to finish playing? An hour? Okay, I'll get you. Your dad would be like, get your ass up now, boy. Boy, get your ass up. Put that tablet down. Stop playing Roblox. I think you see the point. Let's hurry this shit up, because god damn, look at these articles. Look at how much of this shit you gotta read. Look at this. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna keep doing this because I want to get up, I want to get a shower, and I want to go out to the car meet. So let's see, what is it? And these people are asking for money? What the fuck? They always asking for money. The Guardian. I bet this is a feminist-run rag of a newspaper. I'm going to go straight to the end. It says, it has never been more urgent or more perilous to pursue reporting in the U.S. that holds power to account and counters this is the spread of misinformation. And at The Guardian, we make our journalism free and accessible to all. Can you spare just 37 seconds now to support our work and protect the free press? I am the free press. I got on my iPhone 17 Pro Max 2 terabyte deep blue, and I ran my mouth for hours making videos. I am the free press. Am I asking people for money? No. We value wherever you can spare, but a recurring contribution makes the most impact. I think you mean a subscription. That's the word you're talking about. When you say recurring payment for services rendered, that's called a subscription. Enabling greater investment in our most crucial fearless journalism. As our thanks to you, we can offer you some great benefits. Well, obviously one of them is not having good articles, because this feminist tripe that I'm reading right now is bullshit. So anyway, including seeing far fewer fundraising messages like this. We've made it very quick to set up, so we hope you'll consider it. Thank you. Support $5 monthly, or please support $15 monthly. Or you could, down here, if you ain't got that kind of money, you can support us just once for $1. You bored me to death with this nonsense, and you're asking me for money now? This is what I'm talking about, the subscription services. These women who are laying up in their bed on OnlyFans, they're counting on people, simps, to subscribe to them. Let's just forget that we read that. It says, as we witness the erosion of democratic norm. What the fuck? Oh, okay. So I think this is all talking about asking for money. So I'm just going to go back to the end. It says, I'm single by choice because dating nowadays is a waste of time. It says Valerie Gregorio, a 27-year-old from Maryland. I want to see what Valerie looks like, but if she's saying that dating's a waste and she's only 27, then something tells me either she's not giving up the food, not giving up the sex, or not giving up the silence. Because if the women just hit those three goals, let me tell you something, ladies. You're listening to the sound of my voice getting angry. But let me just say this. If you are ugly, or you're fat, or you're short, or even if you're not that smart, all you have to do is just change one thing about yourself, and you have to offer a man these three things: food, sex, and silence. If you give him just those three, I guarantee it will change your dating life forever. Guaranteed. Did I have to write an entire goddamn article about that? No. All I'm saying is just give the man just those three things: food, sex, and silence. If there's a significant man in your life and you know he's single and you want him, and you know that he's not going to approach you, bake him something. Show him your cooking skills, which chances are you probably don't have. But bake him something. Make him some lasagna. Find out what he likes to eat. Follow his ass. Look and see what he orders from. Find out what he likes to eat and bake him something. Bake him something. That's it. Just bake him a cake. And say, you know what? Yeah, I was thinking about you, so I made you this peach cobbler. Do something like that. Peach cobbler, or maybe he doesn't like peaches. I don't know. Every guy is different. Maybe some of these dudes are allergic to peaches. I consider them genetic weaklings. I'm allergic to nothing except like cats. Cat fur, yeah, I'm a little bit allergic to cat fur. But if you're allergic to peanuts and shit or apricots or something like that, I consider you a genetic weakling. And I'm not even really allergic to cat fur. It's just that when it gets in my nose, my allergies start acting up just a little. But it's not that bad. I've had pet cats before. But anyway, find out what he likes. Make him something. If he likes spaghetti, make him some fucking spaghetti. Food. That's it. Hit that checkbox. Maybe if he's not dealing with anybody else, maybe he'll show some interest in you. At that point, you can move on to stage 2. Maybe he'll take you out for dinner because he's going to want to return. He's going to want to reciprocate. Men typically reciprocate. That's why we have such a problem with revenge, like with the president. He's like, yeah, I don't want what's best for my enemy. I want to destroy him and shit. Men like to reciprocate. If you give him some food, maybe he'll take you out on a date. If he takes you out on a date, you goddamn well better give him some sex. I'm sorry, that's the game. Give him some sex. If he reciprocates, he's going to say, hey, that sex was pretty good. Let's keep doing that. Then, when you're at home and you're alone with him, give him some peace. Oh, honey, can I rub your feet? How your feet feel? Your back hurt? Let me rub your back. This is not that hard. This is really not that hard. This is actually really easy. But y'all make it hard by trying to be hypergamous hoes on these fucking dating apps and trying to go to the sperm bank thinking that you're going to find the doctor sperm from the 6-foot-tall doctor. Meanwhile, you didn't realize that you got it from some homeless man who wanted $25. And he went to the sperm bank and he whacked off and he got $25 or $30. See, y'all make this so difficult. This is easy. This is so easy. But y'all refuse to do it because y'all got some serious egos. Because you're so highly educated. Because I'm a biomedical technologist, pharmacist and shit. Y'all try to make this shit so difficult. And guess what? It ain't that hard. So that's pretty much the story. It says, I'm not looking for anyone. I value my freedom and my independence. All the ladies, independent, throw your hands up in the air. All the ladies, independent, throw your hands up in the air. Tell me how your angels get down like that. Tell me how your angels get down like that. Charlie, how your angels get down like that. Tell me how your angels get down like that. Yeah, y'all listening to this Beyonce. She's been married longer than you'll ever be. And she's richer than you'll ever be. And her husband is wealthier than you'll ever be. I could keep going. Yeah, that's probably not the best person to take fucking advice from. It's probably not. I love how you got a married woman convincing these other women to be single and independent. That's just stupid. But anyway, I'm ready to accept being single for the rest of my life. Yes, you absolutely will be.
Buenas.
Buena,
Mi
vecinita.
vecinito, vengo por la crema que usted me dijo que me iba a regalar para la
Listo.
cara.
Agáchese y voy a hacer pero. Pero vengo.
Uy, vecino, pero...
I be like, tell me later. Du weißt, slidest in die DMs, doch ich slide in sie rein. Sie hat keine Konkurrenz, hat doch solo Make-up.
Yo me vine a vivir para acá, pero es un patio, pues.
Vecina, más tarde. Vecina,
¿Qué permiten a la vecina andar así?
vecina, le quiero ofrecer un trabajo, vecina.
Déjame llamar. A vecina.
To be continued.